If you've struggled with stress, balance, or burnout, and simply feel discouraged or even defeated, and if you're ready to move from force to flow and enjoy ultimate Zen success in your career, health, or relationships, then the Zen Success Show is for you. Your host, Carissa Sims, is an entrepreneur, corporate consultant, best-selling author, meditation teacher, and healer who has found her own Zen success. Here's your host, Carissa Sims.
Welcome to this week's episode of Zen Success. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Julie Cohn. Julie sells her art internationally and has been shown, exhibited in many museums throughout the United States. She has a thorough commitment to bringing positive change into people's lives through her art gallery of 4 artists, her teachings, and the joy of bringing sustainability into all of our lives. She has made many webinars about abstract art and loves to share her journey about art and healing. Welcome, Julie.
Thank you so much, Carissa.
Well, what makes your art special? So you say you're bringing sustainability into our lives. How do you integrate that into your art?
Sustainability starts with self. We need to sustain ourselves. And when I'm working with my art, I am connecting to my center, my hara, that part of me that is no longer being affected by all the negativity that can be happening in the world. I move into that beautiful, sustainable place. And then I started my gallery, which is online and in person, because I wanted to extend that sustainability from myself to other artists, helping them make their living. And they are also doing art that is very sustainable for them in terms of their well-being. And then as that moves out into the bigger world, the people who have the art in their homes feel sustained because our work is very positive, very much about connecting to the earth, connecting to each other. And then on top of that, there's one more level of sustainability, and that is during COVID, I was feeling like a lot of us, very isolated. And at that time, I decided that I wanted to do something bigger than myself. I really wanted to start a gallery where 30% of what we earn goes somewhere that helps the planet and helps people. So I have a particular contract with a Habitat for Humanity in my area, and 30% every year is going to them, which is a big percentage. So
yeah, that's really like unheard of.
Yeah, I'm really in this for giving.
Yeah. That's just incredible. And how did you decide on Habitat for Humanity?
You know, it was an intuitive thing.
Okay.
Intuition kept saying habitat. And I think because I've heard so many good things about them. And one of the main things that I ended up learning over time was that they have something called sweat equity. People who are part of a family or even on their own, they want to put their sweat and their tears into making a home. So they put all their energy into it. And then once that home is built, it's something like 500 hours it takes, and they work with a whole team through Habitat, then their mortgage is hardly anything, or their interest is like 1% or 0. And they have to qualify. They have to be working, right? But they put in a certain amount of hours, and they get a home that they would have never been able to afford otherwise.
Wow, that's amazing. I didn't know that either. I've never volunteered with them. Wow. You have so much joy.
Well,
I'm
happy to share it.
Yeah, exudes from every cell of your being.
Oh my goodness.
It's like a bubble of joy. That's so awesome. I love that energy that you have. Yeah. So thanks for sharing that story and your mission. And is just really shining through about how you want to give back to the planet and help people have homes. So that's just beautiful.
And my parents always love in their family, but they had broken homes for various reasons when they were young. And I was given a really wonderful home and upbringing. But I know
Mm.
their past, right? And I think when I realized why I kept going to Habitat, it's because when my father was in the Holocaust in Germany and he fled from there and was able to reunite from his family after being in an orphanage, he met his whole family of four, like the main family, and they came to America, but they had nothing at first, and they were helped by America to get on their feet.
Mm.
So, like I realized that this was part of my mission because I'm part of that legacy.
Yeah, and paying it forward. That's
Mhm.
incredible. So tell me a little bit about your journey to being an artist. Were you always an artist? What age did you start where people started noticing? Did you ever think about this, being an artist?
I was like, there are all these people in my class at third grade and second grade who are making cartoons and stuff. And I'm like, I don't know how to do that kind of thing. And I didn't think I was an artist. And I'm the third
Wow,
child.
that's pretty impressive that kids in your class were doing
Yeah,
that.
they were making cartoons. Oh, and they're young. There's some kids, they're just amazing when they're really little. And
Okay.
I didn't have that because I just didn't know even to try. But because I'm the third child of a brother and sister who are 7 and 9 years older, respectively, when they got to that point where they could be more independent, my mom took out her art materials. My mom was an artist. I didn't even know it until
Oh,
I was 10.
oh my God, that's so funny. I could totally relate to that
Really?
because, yeah, because my mom is an amazing painter, artist, and she didn't paint at all when I was growing up. She worked at like a traditional job, and she didn't really do any of these like creative outlets. And then I saw her art, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you have to do a children's book with us. And so she did illustrate a children's book for us. And I was like, what
That
are
is
you doing
incredible. I
hiding
know. Why
this?
did you hide that?
Yeah. It's so funny. I think something about that generation, they were just
Hmm.
multi-talented and didn't think it was a big deal. Like, I feel like it was like
Hmm.
nothing to her to be a good cook, to knit, to crochet, like
Right.
all of this, because I find that in my mother-in-law too. She is so amazingly talented, and it's just, she's so humble about it. And it's just,
Totally.
do you think that's true about that generation,
Completely.
maybe? Yeah.
Oh, my mom, bless her soul, she died when she was 57, but she was very humble about her art. And you okay?
Yeah.
She was
Go ahead. Go ahead.
very, very humble. And so she took out her art supplies, and I said, "What are you doing?" And then I decided I would take some classes after school. So I took them, and I was with all the kids in classes, and I was like, I don't like the kids' classes. I want to go to the adult classes. So by the time I was 12, I was already with adults. I had it in me. It was just in me. It was so natural. And I wanted to learn everything one could learn to be a realistic painter at that time. That was what I was given. That was my path at that time.
Mhm.
And I kept pursuing that. And yeah, that's how it all started. And so it became solace for me. Whenever there was anything difficult with the family, I would go outside and sit by a tree and draw it and be with nature and ground and get grounded. That was so important for me. The art was a way for me to learn who I was. Even if
Mm.
that was only one way that I could find out, because I felt that my family was very opinionated and often wanted to squelch my ideas because they didn't want me to get upset, or, there was this kind of holding down. So I was afraid to share sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
They loved me, but there was a sense of kind of, don't voice your opinion that might be too different. We don't know that we will accept that.
Yeah. And that really, it wasn't about you. It was just a pattern that they had in their family.
Exactly.
And that's all that they could do to be safe, really, in the world. So they're trying to protect you so you don't stand out too much.
Oh, yeah.
But not you. You're a shining star.
Oh, but I couldn't be back then too much because I wanted to be. I've always wanted to be.
Yeah.
And they knew that about me.
Yeah.
But there were things I was afraid to be for a long time.
Well, did anyone in your family or your peers try to squash your dreams? Or did you think it was going to be your career, or you're just like having fun because you're a kid? I mean, like, was there anyone like, oh, don't be an artist? Because, they have that stigma, the starving artist.
Well, so here's the thing about my family.
Okay.
They were like, do whatever you want with art.
Okay.
That was never, ever squelched.
Oh,
which I was so pleased about. So that, by the time I was in high school, I knew I was going to be an artist. I knew when I went to college, I was going to be an artist. Whatever I did, there was just no question. However, I didn't know how I was going to make a living. That was a whole other thing. Because that's a whole other part of being an artist, which is really 50%. I mean, some people say, well, you got it or you don't as an artist. And then, okay, you either sell or you don't. But really, you've got to know marketing. There's a whole lot to it.
Yeah, I'm sure. So how has your relationship with art shifted over the years?
My relationship started with learning technique, feeling rooted in the earth, doing portraits of people, doing maybe florals of a flower that reminded me of my mom who had died, like connecting to people through the actual reality, until I had injuries or I had cancer. So when I had a major injury due to playing for 6 hours on the wrong guitar, jazz chords, I had a thoracic outlet injury on my neck.
Wow.
And it affected both hands.
6 hours.
I was really wanting to be this jazz guitarist vocalist, which I still do now, but it's not my main, like, everyday thing, right?
Okay.
And so
that's a long time for anybody.
That was a long time and I did not know how to listen to my body.
Oh, you probably knew how to leave your body, actually.
I left my body. Yeah. And then my body said, no.
Come back here. Yeah. We need you. Yeah, totally.
So that's
how you could do it. Wow. That's amazing.
So when I did that brought me to doing art that was more connected to healing and understanding my own healing. I interviewed different people who had what we at that time called more disabilities. I like to think of it now as we just all have a certain finite number of abilities. But at that time, I called it athletes of the spirit, exploring disability through art and writing. And I interviewed different people with disabilities because I wanted to understand their lives. And the art was about them and my perspective on the interview that I had with them. And very surrealistic work, like very imaginative, but still using representational and realistic forms. And then when I found out that I had cancer 11 years ago, I used art in a very different way to heal. Somewhat surrealistic at first, and then ultimately it became very abstracted. So things really shifted with my intuition. That's a whole other story around how art was very seminal in that healing.
Mm. I think that's so wonderful that you were working with people with disabilities. I'm an occupational therapist.
Oh,
And yeah, I've been in that world, although I'm in corporate now and doing healings. But now, in the past, I've done triathlons with the Challenged Athletes Foundation, and you do relays with different disabled athletes. And they're amazing. Oh my gosh.
yeah,
It's
I've
just,
seen pictures and I've seen
yeah, of
videos.
racing. Yeah.
Yes.
And it's just like they totally kick butt. It's just like they don't see themselves. Obviously, if they're doing a triathlon, they don't see themselves as disabled. It is like so inspiring.
And why should they?
Yeah, exactly. Because they're not. There's so many different ways that you can live a fulfilling life. So
And
that's
there was
wonderful.
something major that I learned from those interviews. That was if I spread myself too far in my life, if I'm too thin, like
Mm-hmm.
trying to do everything well, I won't find that beauty and depth in anything. And people who I interviewed had one focus that they really could do, and they did it spectacularly. And it made me
Mm,
see how it's not about how much one can do. It's finding that passion with what your abilities are and making
mm.
the best and the most of it.
Yeah, yeah. I remember this is a little embarrassing, but I was treating this patient and he was like my age and he was like an Olympic skier and he was so cute. And I was like working on him every day and I was like, oh my God, I have a crush on my patient. I can't believe this. And I was just like so inspired by him. And
Yes.
it's like, I don't know, there was just something there, this like irresistible attraction. I'm like, oh my God, I'm like confessing to you.
Oh
But
my God.
anyway,
I've had my own, but I'm
I,
not going to share that during this one.
okay. That's the super secret, Julie. Yeah. The secret's revealed. All right. Well, let's go back to your journey with cancer. I've actually had my own diagnosis of cancer. I was curious about yours. What type of cancer and when were you diagnosed?
I was driving home and I knew something was wrong. So this is where intuition started coming into
Mm,
my life more and more. And I thought, oh, I haven't had a mammogram for 2 years. I'm going to France
mm.
this September. I better have one.
Okay.
I
What
want to
year
make
was
sure.
this?
This was in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had first stage breast cancer. It could have gone metastatic. It was, they were concerned about it all. It wasn't fast growing. They said, go to France. It's fine. Come back and decide whether you're going to have that tumor out. Well, here's me, little old me. I was like, okay, all my family, all my friends, everybody wants me to do something their way. My mom, my mom died of ovarian cancer. I saw the chemo and the radiation completely zap her life, and she left her life. It was just a horrible, horrible journey that I saw her go on. And because of that, I said, nope, I'm not doing that. So I found a different way.
You are my soul sister. I will tell you my story too, but go ahead. I'm
Great.
finish yours.
So I was on my way to France, and a friend had recommended this wonderful man who was an ND, an MD, and a therapist all in one.
And just for the audience that doesn't know, naturopath, right? Naturopathic
Yes.
doctor is an ND. Yeah.
Right.
When you have an MD and an ND, that's a powerful force.
It is.
Yes.
He had all these letter names next to him,
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And
but it's so good because it's like, applying the natural with like medicine. It's amazing.
Oh my God, that clinic was outrageous. So what happened is, against all my family's wishes, and I was used to being a pleaser. This was one of the hardest things I had ever done. I was in France. I talked to my doctor and he says, well, are you going to come already to Texas? And I said, okay. So I made my decision. I got back from France. I said, bye, everybody. I'm going to Texas. And that was that. And I had all my major healing in Texas. It was through what's called recall healing or German New Medicine.
German New Medicine. Wow.
Yeah,
are you German? You're
I
German.
am.
Okay.
And half German.
Half German.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the funny thing and the ironic thing is that the fears of Holocaust coming again was part of why I got cancer and why the anxiety, I think for myself, was part of that. And German New Medicine offered an antidote to help me.
Wow.
Isn't
That's
that beautiful?
profound.
Very profound.
This is like blowing my mind.
I know. Mine too.
Okay. Yeah. So, but also that you have such a powerful psychic ability and intuition to realize and discover that could have been part of the cause. Obviously, there's so many different factors of cancer, environmental, and
sure, it can be anything.
It can be so many different things. But I think that DNA history and also any emotional components associated with that is so critical in releasing that cancer and going into your healing.
Completely. So basically that whole journey of working with what was called recall healing was recalling 3 areas of my life. And this is part of the German New Medicine. So one of them was figuring out what I perceived as traumas in my life. I perceived 22, even to some it might have been nothing, but to me, they were traumas. And I wrote them all down and I learned to reframe them.
Oh,
yes. Reframe the way we look at them, right? And then the other was the time 6 months before, during, and 6 months after birth, looking at what could have happened with my parents then and me. And then the last part was looking at the family tree and any similarities with siblings of the same origin of, like, let's say I was the 3rd child. So let's say in my ancestry, any sibling that was the 3rd child, what did I have in common? So those were really fascinating. And I learned so much. And I moved through all of these traumas with the help of his therapy and other therapy. And that was a big part of the healing. And then in addition, I found doing art in a different way really connected me to some answers that I wanted to find. And that was making art not to be pretty, making art only to heal. And so I had a tiny little book and in that I did only abstracted work for the very first time. I said, I'm doing this. And then I put a little title at the end of each one. And when I was in the clinic every day, I would do these little paintings. And then I would read more. And then I'd go, okay, when am I going to get the tumor out? Am I going to get the tumor out? Am I going to go all natural? I eventually had the tumor out, but I didn't do it for 7 months. And I healed in many other ways in the interim. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, and you used your intuition to let you know when you needed to do that surgery, like it was time.
Yes. I didn't ask the doctors, like, will you let me know when? I didn't. I said, no. I'm going to listen to my doctors and what they say about my diagnosis and how things are going. And I'm going to check with these different alternative tests and all kinds of things like that. And I kept assessing every kind of test that was given to me. Is it time to take this out, or should I just let it be and dissolve? The tumor did not get smaller. It did not get bigger. And I said, you know what? That's a tough one. I'm going to just get it out.
Yeah.
So I did, but it was one of those things where I had to work with my art to help me figure this out. I just kept doing art, putting little titles on my book, and then I would go, oh, okay, victory by another path. This will not be the path I was going to take, but that's okay. It's still a victory.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It is definitely.
Yeah.
And did you have another job or anything at this time?
My job has been mostly as an artist and a teacher.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Both of
Okay.
those. Mhm.
Yeah. So always in the
Before I
art
even
world.
developed my gallery. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just going to share my story real quick because
Yeah.
my father also died, I believe, of the chemo treatment because he had to go to the ER and they continued to give it to him when he was not strong enough, So I am, yeah. I'm not a fan. And you had I don't know, a similar journey, but I had that visceral feeling in my body when I got the diagnosis, like, okay, this is your chance. This is your opportunity to not do chemo and see if you can heal. And again, like you said, well, actually my husband was kind of neutral to it. So he wasn't like, you got to get this treatment. But my cousin, my mom, like a lot of people were worried about me. And then I stopped telling people because I didn't want that energy.
Right,
I felt like it was contributing to this victim consciousness of like, oh, poor me, I'm so sorry. It's like, what can we say? What do you think we could say to people that is more empowering for healing their life?
Oh, I would say this. I would say that, first of all, I'm so happy for you.
Oh,
that you went that way. And we're kindred spirits on that. And I'm so happy to hear that.
Yes.
I want to say that every person who has cancer is very individual. And,
yeah.
And whenever I've come across anybody who has cancer and feels comfortable with chemo and radiation and just automatically does that, that's their journey, right? And that's right for them. And I have a friend who had cancer for 23 years. And she had the BRCA gene,
okay,
which was a Jewish, through the ancestors, gene, which makes you very susceptible to dying more easily from breast cancer. And she lived 23 years after her first diagnosis using chemo and radiation, right?
Yeah.
And my aunt would never go a la natural, ever. And she had lung cancer the exact same time that I had my breast cancer. So what do you say? You go, you do your way, go girl.
Yeah. No, it's such a good point because I think there's something to be said about the placebo effect and energy that, like, if you feel like, I think it's so important to stay positive. If you feel like this is helping you, visualize that, help it, like heal, help your body heal. I have never felt so connected to my body. It was truly a gift to me, my cancer journey. So, and mine was more recent.
Did you have breast or other?
I had cervical.
Okay.
Yeah, cervical cancer.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So you doing it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It was amazing. So let's go back to your art. And I have to tell you this is like so amazing. This is like a divine appointment with you or something.
I'm so glad.
Yeah, you're so glad. Well, we're both intuitive and here we are together, vibing together, have similar journeys. But I currently am not a commercial artist. I'm not painting or doing anything like that. But I partnered with one of my clients that I was doing healing sessions with, and she's an artist, a fine artist, abstract artist. And I said, let's do something together. So we're doing an exhibit together in LA called Being in Joy. And she did this 9 pillars of joy.
Oh my
goodness. Yeah, she painted that, and we're going to have music. And so I was just special. Like, I'm going to support her and healing art. And so, because I feel like you have this mission too, is that everybody can heal from anything, but it's like if there's art, just like being with the art can transform the space. Do you feel that as well?
Being with it as a non-artist or artist, either way.
Well, I just mean like entering a room that has healing
Ah.
art. Like, how
Oh,
can that person, commune with that art or be healed from it?
oh, that's a beautiful question to ask. Um, I really feel it's important when we have art that we choose for ourselves. That is a creative act in itself, to choose our
Mm,
art. Why do we choose it? And if we ask ourselves, is it the story behind the art? Is it because we know what the artist was all about? Is it just simply the beautiful colors or whatever it is about it? The art becomes a being. It's a living,
mm,
thriving, energetic being that we have chosen to be with. And that to me says a lot. We don't have to go and talk to this art every day. It's talking to us just by us being around it.
mm.
Like we don't have to stare at it all the time, but it is there for us. It's like a constant support. That's what I feel art is when we choose art, especially art that we feel helps us be our best selves. And for everybody, that's a different thing. For some people, being their best selves is, I want to be super energetic all the time. And they want to get art that's got bright color and exciting
Mm,
motion. And somebody else is like, I want to find centered groundedness. And
mm.
this is what I need around me. And it could be for each room, it's different because of
Yeah.
what you want that room to represent. So it's, yeah, we can find that. I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, beautiful. When did you start your company, Sustaining Arts?
I started it during COVID.
Yeah, because that wasn't that long ago.
No.
So 2020? Was it 2020?
2021, I actually officially made the LLC.
Oh, okay. But
Mhm.
before that, you were teaching, you were doing your art. Like, what kind of
I
marketing were you doing before that?
I was in galleries.
Oh,
I
you were still
was
in galleries.
doing
Got it. Yeah.
shows all the time. I was getting out there. But there was something when COVID hit, I
Mm,
said to myself, I want more independence with my
mm.
sharing my art. And I also want to help others in a big way. So
Wow.
that's what happened. I said, and I couldn't figure out the name for a while.
Okay.
And then sustaining arts, oh my gosh, that's it. Because I am totally into sustaining our planet. I'm seeing what's happening with climate change. I link my company not just with art, but with the entire idea of regeneration and sustainability. How do we keep ourselves sustained? How do we regenerate our planet? I'm connecting with all kinds of people around this. And even on the Sustaining Arts website, there are different people who have said certain things about how we can not use as much plastic. And, like there's a whole section
Mhm.
around sustainability in different ways. So
Yeah.
I'm very committed to that word, sustainability, and I'm very committed to art. So
Yeah.
that's it. That's how it happened.
That's amazing. This colleague of mine, his name's Adam Hall. He lives in Santa Barbara. You're in Northern
Yeah,
California,
in
right?
California near San Francisco,
Near San Francisco.
Berkeley.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're a little bit far away, but
Okay.
he has a similar message. He has an Earth Keeper Alliance. So
Mm.
about sustainability and the earth and
Oh,
everything. So
nice.
yeah, maybe I can connect
I'd
you
love
to,
that. Love
yeah.
that.
So, and if someone wants to market themselves, like how did you get out there being a new company? And was it using your intuition? Did you have a marketing plan? Tell me about that process
Oh, this
and how you
process has
found
been so
success.
crazy.
Fly by the seat of your pants. Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually in the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Now everything is coming to a place of understanding what works. And I'm really excited about that because in the very beginning, I was going to have an online gallery only.
Yes.
And then I decided, no, I'm turning my studio into a gallery for 4. So that was really good. When I decided to have an event with somebody from Habitat for Humanity coming to talk and share what's going on with that, and then sharing the whole exhibit with various designers and various friends and people, students I know and all, and they all came and we really enjoyed it. And then I said, this is crazy. Why shouldn't I just leave this gallery up? And then what happened is I decided to, because it's a studio also, it's where I paint, I meet people by appointment, right? And I let them know what my hours are, what when I'd like to meet them. And I also now have something called Eagle Eye Art Adventures. And
Oh, I love it.
yeah.
Okay.
And Eagle Eye came from one of my students who called me an eagle eye. I've been
Okay.
teaching for over 35 years, and my eyes are like an eagle when it comes to looking at art and helping people improve upon
Oh,
their art. So
I
when she gave
see.
me that name, I thought, I'm going to use that. I like that idea of connecting to something in nature, a being.
Yeah.
And what I do is either online or in the gallery, both. I bring together businesses to do team building through looking at art, doing art, and talking about art.
Oh, that's
And
beautiful.
yeah, and when they do the team building, it can have to do with their own company as well. It can bring in elements of their own company in terms of what they're making with their art or how we're talking about the art in the gallery. So we can bring that in, or we can just do it as a fun event just to be exposed to the gallery online or in person.
Mm.
So that's one of the things that I'm doing, and I'm encouraging people, and I'm not charging for these events right now. I'm just enjoying them with people
Mm.
and just want people to see the gallery and give them some discounts if they're part of these programs.
I
And,
see.
and they get more facile at talking about abstract art, because that's the whole
Mm.
idea. It's mostly abstract art. So some people, they want to be able to talk about it more, but they need a little bit of coaching about it. Or they
Yeah.
already know, and then they help other people when they're at the event. So
That
that's
sounds amazing.
that's just one way. And then the
Yeah.
online is a whole other approach
Yeah.
to selling.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much time we have for that, but
Well, I just think it's helpful for people, including me, to figure out like how to touch people in a way that connects with them and wants to get them to buy. I mean, there's so much noise out there,
I know
Yeah.
it's so true.
Yeah.
But what I keep learning is any way that we can connect with people about our story,
Mm.
and the specific work the art that we're showing them, like what you're doing with your exhibit, with your
Hmm.
friend, you're
Yeah.
connecting to joy
Yes.
with people, right? That's already such a great mission. So that's what you're doing. You're connecting through something that's very meaningful to you, and then bringing them in to discuss it, to talk about the art with you and about the joy, and ask them a question or two, and then get
Hmm.
groups together to talk about it. Like, it's that engagement which gets people excited about having the work because there's a connection they're making.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I'm really excited. Thanks for saying that.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your intuition. And so, what do you recommend to people who want to follow their intuition or get in touch with it more?
Hmm. You know, it's easy to feel for a lot of people that we need to listen to other people's advice first, and taking time to really either write or meditate, go for a walk, whatever it is, talk with somebody you trust to share feelings with, and feel into the body. what's really happening. Because if a person can find that one person, it can be a teacher, it could be a coach, it could be anyone. Maybe even you don't feel a person when they're young doesn't feel comfortable with friends, even sharing something. But whoever you could feel comfortable with, share what the bodily feeling is. What's happening in the body as soon as somebody says, I think you should do that. Is the body going, oh, yeah? Or is it going, oh, I'm going to crumple up into nothing? Like, what is the body feeling? And to start connecting more to that sense of who am I as separate from that person? Because it's very easy to enmesh all of us, like as people are telling us what they think, and we're like, well, okay, maybe I'll do that. And you know what I'm saying? It's like, how do we separate enough? And how do we be kind to people in that separation? Like, for instance, I'll give an example. Somebody I didn't know real well, but I knew well enough to call, almost a friend. I said,
I love how you're tiptoeing around this.
Almost a friend, like an acquaintance, right?
Yeah.
I said, oh, I just bought a pair of shorts. And the person said, why did you do that? It's the middle of winter. And I'm like, well, because I don't know. Like I was kind of like, I don't know what to say. Like I just didn't have an answer. Right. And then I realized later, because I love those shorts and I just need those shorts and I don't care whether it's winter. But the reality is I don't want to hurt a person. If I say that, I would say, gosh, it sounds like for you, buying shorts in winter would not be the right thing.
It sounds like for you. That's amazing. You know what I start correcting people too? Oh my gosh, I'm so bad. I just let people be. But when people say, you know how when you're sad all the time, I'm just like, no, I am not. Some people maybe, but I don't let people, because words are powerful. They're spells. And I'm just like, nope, cancel. I am not taking that on, that pattern that you have, that you have to be sad, and it's just, right. So yeah.
But the idea really is that they sometimes don't get it. If I say I don't agree, because they're like, well, you have to do that. That's what you do.
Yeah, exactly.
And then when I say, gosh, it sounds like you don't feel comfortable with that, I'm actually letting them own it for themselves.
Yeah.
Because, they're like, no, you should do this. You're me. But
Yeah, right. When it's interesting because sometimes people can kind of be taken aback because they're not used to that response of like where they have to take personal responsibility for their story and their patterns and everything, and they're like, okay, bye. That's so interesting. And it's like, but you can feel the energy of the criticism of like the shorts, like, okay, it's winter. What are you doing? Exactly. And it's just like, maybe you like to wear shorts at home. Maybe you're going to Hawaii. Like,
yeah, but do I even have to? This is the thing.
Justify it.
I don't have to. I can just say, I like shorts and I like these shorts.
Period. Okay. Period. Yes.
No, it's like this whole thing of like, how do I owe this to this person?
Well, that's right. Why do you owe them an explanation? It's so funny. Yeah. So what about these other artists that you have in your gallery? Did you attract them? Do you feel like they vibrate at your same energy, or did you meet them? Like, how did that happen?
Well, the funny thing is I had all these artists who were kind of interested in being in the gallery. And for various and sundry reasons, they just realized it wasn't the right thing for them. And then when I ended up having four all together, the four of us, it was perfect. Like, I didn't want any more.
Yeah. Well, it feels very balanced, like the medicine wheel, Native American medicine wheel, 4 directions, And
it's like all four of us, we love talking together. We're a great team. We love having our events sometimes together. I don't have every event with them. I do it as the gallerist just on my own.
I see.
but sometimes they come and they join me and we discuss what we're doing for the next exhibit, for the spring or the fall, and they all are really into giving.
Mm-hmm.
All of the people, they really want to do something for the world beyond themselves. And that was
Mm.
really important too. And their work is all abstract and intuitive.
Oh, so yeah, that's really in alignment.
That's all in alignment.
So do you ever consider other artists, or this is like your core group and that's who
This
you're
is the
sticking with?
group at
Okay.
this point, and it's a lot of work to put it all together, even for four.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
So to change anything would be a lot of work. So I've decided that's it for now. And if something happens at some point and somebody decides not to or can't be part of it, then I'll bring someone else in.
So do you feel like anyone can be an artist, specifically like a painting artist? Obviously, there's many different forms of art, right? But I just
Right.
mean, yeah, like painting and
Oh,
drawing.
oh, of course. Anyone,
Anyone? Yeah.
anyone. And here's the thing about it. What does it mean to be an artist? I mean, people say, oh, that's a label. Okay, does it mean you're an artist if you're only professional? Or do you just do art? Or like, how do we couch that term? Meaning, like, if somebody does art and does it for self only, like it's not to share with others. And I have students who are like that. They will never exhibit and they don't want to. They
Oh,
only do it for themselves and their growth and that idea of just being in the moment of learning and growing and feeling their passion while doing it. So anyone can do it. I feel like the committee that's on our shoulder, the one that's critical, that could have been our teachers, could have been parents or grandparents, could have been friends, could have been anybody saying, oh, you're no good. We get that, right? Like you shouldn't do that. We've gotten that and that can sit on our shoulders
mm-hmm.
for a long time. And it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter how long it sits there. We can politely or rudely tell them get off.
Rudely. Yeah. If it's myself. Yeah.
Because when it's on the shoulder and it's looking down and it's criticizing, saying, "Oh, I'm awful." It's like
Mm.
a thing of internalizing it to the human being. We're all wonderful, beautiful human beings. Maybe that piece of art you just did is not the best. Who cares? That's
Yeah.
not you. Separating it from you, right? Or from us,
Mm,
right?
mhm,
The art
mhm.
is not us. The art is, to me, I think art is coming through from the universe, and I'm a vessel
Mm,
to
mhm.
bring
A channel.
forth a
Mhm,
channel in a sense.
mhm,
But even when that channel is kind of mucked up with glue, like it's not coming out very well that day,
mhm.
that's okay too. And if I don't use that painting for anything, that's fine because that process of doing it was what helped me heal inside something that I needed.
Mm.
That's all I needed it for. That's first and foremost. And when it comes out well, okay, I'll try and sell that. you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
if
you're
for
just
anybody,
being,
that's what I say.
yeah, and just being more playful about it, detaching that it is not your identity, it's not who you are. You are
Right.
just a messenger. That's so beautiful because I mean, so many people, including myself, we get defined by our job.
Right.
And not like, for example, just like a few months ago, I started writing poetry
Oh,
and I had never written poetry before.
that's
And
exciting.
so, yeah. And, and I was like, now what am I? I'm a
Oh,
writer,
right.
you
You're
know.
giving yourself a label.
Now I'm like, but I don't need a label. You're right. So anyway, it's very insightful. Okay, so what's next for you? Anything exciting coming up that you'd like to share with our audience?
Oh my. What is next? I am putting together the spring exhibit
Okay.
in the gallery in Berkeley, so I'm excited about that. I'm
Mm,
also writing a memoir, but it's going to take a while to launch. And the
okay.
memoir is about speaking my truth through art.
Ooh.
Uh-huh.
That's amazing. When is your spring exhibit? Do you know the dates yet, or are you still figuring that out?
I think that it starts the very beginning of May or
Okay.
somewhere in there.
Because
I
I
have to
could
go
put
look at
that
the
in the show
dates.
notes.
Yeah,
I could put that in
let's
the
do
show
that.
notes.
Let's do
Yeah.
that.
So, well, yeah, no worries about the exact dates. I didn't.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure if any of our audience is in Northern California, or if they want to fly out there, flights,
Right.
why not? Meet
Totally.
Julie, meet her
I'd love that.
gallery, her other artists.
Make
So
an appointment with me.
we're making an appointment because
Yeah.
she might have a different schedule.
Right.
So what is Zen success for you?
Zen success is touching in often to my full body awareness and being fully who I need to be in every moment, sharing with people who I am in a loving way, and sharing with myself what I need and following through. All of those things every single day, which I am applying so that I am peaceful and with joy going through every day. And I think that connection with either reading a passage, a beautiful passage, some poetry or oracle cards or a meditation or whatever before I start painting helps me get into that groove. And prayer before eating, anything that slows down to say, hey, I'm connecting right now. That's my Zen.
Yeah, wonderful. It's been such a pleasure getting to know you, hearing about your journey as an artist and supporting others and your amazing sustaining art. And I'll put your website and your spring show and how to buy your art in the show notes. So thank you for being on my show today.
Carissa, this has been such a wonderful joy to be with you and to get to know you as well. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
If you'll be in the Los Angeles, California area, March 23rd, join us for a free healing art exhibition, and March 25th for a paid workshop. I look forward to meeting you there. Details can be found in the show notes and on Eventbrite.
That's it for today's episode of Zen Success. Head on over to iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, or wherever you listen to shows. Zen Success is also available on the radio in select markets through amfm247.com. Subscribe to the show and share with friends. Be sure to head on over to zensuccessshow.com to help you on your Zen Success journey. And join us on the next episode. May you find your own Zen success in life.
Hi, I'm Chris Gethard, and I'm very excited to tell you about Beautiful Anonymous, a podcast where I talk to random people on the phone. I tweet out a phone number, thousands of people try to call. You talk to one of them, they stay anonymous, I can't hang up, that's all the rules. I never know what's going to happen. We get serious ones. I've talked with meth dealers on their way to prison. I've talked to people who survived mass shootings. Crazy funny ones. I talked to a guy with a goose laugh, somebody who dresses up as a pirate on the weekends. I never know what's going to happen. It's a great show. Subscribe today, Beautiful Anonymous.